I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you, everybody. Next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the last meeting. Has everybody had a chance to review them?
I'll make a motion, we accept them.
You have a motion to accept the minutes. Do we have a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to accept the minutes from the regular board meeting of April 25th. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? Thank you. Next agenda item is approval of general fund vouchers 7341, 73413 through 73450, and wire transfers 151-60372 through 151-60390, and activity fund vouchers 2385 through 2439.
They look good.
Do I have a motion?
I move to approve the
Thank you.
vouchers.
I'll second.
It's properly moved and seconded to accept the activity, the vouchers as listed. Please, all in favor, it's signified by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Thank you. Is there anybody who signed up for a public comment? All right, thank you. Next item on the agenda is Spotlight on Education, Anatomy and Physiology Program.
So tonight, Mrs. Pruzak's going to talk about the new anatomy program that we have. This is her first year doing it, so she's agreed to come in and share how that's been going and actually just what it is and what we were able to offer our upperclassmen in the building.
Yeah, so this is our first time ever offering it at Clear Lake High School. It's a one-year science elective, juniors and seniors. We currently have 12 students that have stuck it out through the year and are doing a lot of different things in class. So I just want to share a few of the activities we've been doing so you can see some of the hands-on things we've been doing. We did the autopsy of the dill pickle. And so each group got a dill pickle, and then they had to diagnose the cause of death and use the proper anatomical terms and directive terms to diagnose the patient and submit that. So they enjoyed that. We dissected owl pellets, which they've probably done before, but this time they had to identify each bone and then reconstruct the skeleton. They enjoyed it, but they realized it was very hard to find the little bones and put them back into place. Then I went to Nielsen's Market and got some fresh chicken wings, and we dissected the wings for the bones and the arms for the muscles, the flexor and extensors in the wing. And they said they'd never look at a chicken wing again. And in the same way, I guess you could say, because of checking out how they all work together. If you've ever been to my room, I have a fish tank in the back, and people ask, why do you have goldfish in there? And we use them for this lab in particular. I used to use this for one of my AP labs. But we placed the live goldfish under a microscope, put the tail under there, and you could actually see the difference between the arteries, the veins, and the capillaries and the blood going through. And the goal is to, of course, keep the fish alive, which they did. And it was really neat that, you talk about these experiences, but they can actually see it for themselves. We did a lot of activities in the computer lab. We did a virtual lab on cardiology. So each student was a virtual intern to accompany a doctor. They had 3 different patients, and then they were examined using more than one diagnostic tool, and then they had to diagnose what each patient had. So then they had to submit that. The most recent lab we did was a digestion lab, which antacid is most effective, Tums, Rolaids, Pepsid AC, or Omeprazole. And then they did their lab and then had to write their own conclusion based on effectiveness and cost, which one that they would buy. We did a kidney filtration lab to model dialysis and how that works, using simulated blood to make urine. And then one of the neatest ones was I contacted Eggert Slaughtering, and they provided cow, sheep, and pig lungs. Took the shop vac from Mr. Gange's room, reversed it to blow air into the lungs and to see these cow lungs expand section by section was really amazing for the kids to see and to feel it. It felt like memory foam. And so lots of teachers came by to check it out. That was a great experience. We've dissected sheep brains, cow eyes, the deer hearts they collected over deer hunting season, brought them in, we put them in the freezer, and then when it's time for the heart, we dissected those. We'll be finishing with mink and rat total body dissections their last week of school. We had Brent Paulson, a former student of Paulson Chiropractic. He came in to talk about his career, talked about the skeletal muscle and nervous system and how they all interact together. We took a field trip to CSA 11, where they have lots of ITV experiences, and we watched a live viewing of an open heart surgery, and you got to ask the doctors questions, so that was interesting to watch how they do that. And then I brought along some projects. I wanted to be a lot of hands-on activities for the class. So this was a skin model project where they had to design it, and they used craft products to do this one. We did a muscular system where they had to have, the requirement was you had to show a hand or an arm and have moving parts. So this one they used to show the contracting and then the flexor muscles in the back when another person did the hand. So however they decided to design their model based on movement. We did what is blood made out of, and they had to come up with their own liquid model of the different types of components in blood and submit it. And so some seniors still have these at the bottom of their locker, and they said, do you want to bring mine? I said, sure. We made working lung models with lungs and diaphragms using balloons, straws, and plastic pop bottles. We did a little type of art project where they had to bring in an action pose, and then they had to draw it based on writing the words of the skeletal system as the actual structure, so they had to write in the bones. So we have a softball player, we have a dancer, and a volleyball player with just 3 examples. They did a really, really good job. Those are called skeleton typographs. And then one day I was looking at my emergency procedure flip chart that Mr. Smith had us put in our rooms, and I thought, wouldn't that be neat if we could make this into an assignment? So for the blood components, I had to make a layered lookbook, and we researched all the components of blood, and then this could be like a reference chart for them rather than taking notes on each thing. They have their own, and they got to make them however they wanted. This one has different tabs in it, and they had fun because it was just a different way to learn the material. Then we did brain caps. We had swim caps, or we had the paper version, whichever one they wanted to make. So they drew the parts of the brain and then the model or the function for each. I like the drawing because it really gets them to figure out where all the parts are. So we took lab aprons and they drew the digestive system, different sizes, and make sure they're in the right spot. Yeah, this is Ian's. We did, this was, I forgot to mention, this was another skin model. This was Ian Rubel and John Stuavenga's, and they used the printer, what is it? 3D printer in Mr. Ganji's room. And so figured out how to make the case for theirs and then put the components in. So we were using the technology in another classroom. We did research projects on the homeostatic imbalances, so different diseases and conditions are for each body system, oral presentations, poster presentations. But one of the things that I thought they did fantastic was they made brochures about each different homeostatic imbalance. And I'm going to bring some of these up front because I just thought these looked like something you could pick up at a doctor's office. They did such a good job, very professional, and again, just a different way of learning for them. And now we're in our final project. Their job is to create a bloodborne pathogen training video, like the ones that we watch every year. So it's a class project that they're working on together. They're filming tomorrow. They promised me we'll be able to show it to the staff, and maybe it'll be our training video. But they're enjoying working together and learning the different components that way. So we've done a lot of activities. It's been a very successful class. I have enjoyed every minute of it, and I am so glad that everyone agreed that we could teach it and have the resources available to do that. So thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Kruzak.
I know, for one, my daughter was angry to find out that it was offered the year after she left.
Sorry.
So thank you for coming in. All right, well, we'll move on to old and recurring business, the WASB workshop on the 18th.
Yep,
Just a reminder?
Yep, just a reminder. If anyone wants to sign up, I can sign you guys up. I'm planning on going. I don't know if anyone else was planning on it, but
Yeah, if you want to sign me up, I'm
Okay.
definitely interested.
May 18th. Okay. And the annual meeting's June 2nd, right?
sounds right.
Yeah, okay, all right. Thank you. And then on a new business, we have approval of teacher contracts.
Yep, so we just have the teacher contracts right now. Right now, the contracts just need to be approved. Nothing's changed. We'll wait till the end of June, I believe. And then we'll have the, once all the PDPs are done and any credits that have been taken, to add that onto the contract. So right now, it's
So
just.
this is just an update of progress?
No, this would be approval for the teacher contracts, and then we'll,
Okay,
at the end of June, then I'll bring the updated version with the correct salaries on them.
okay. So we are approving contracts for people for
2016, 2017
for our-
teachers.
For our staff.
Teaching
Okay.
staff, yep.
Do we have any questions or concerns, or?
You mentioned the CPI is 0.12.
Yeah, it's 0.12%, so it's extremely low for this year. I do know that, many districts are moving towards creating a compensation model, which is probably where we're gonna be headed in the near future.
Okay,
And I do believe that it was started, I think Clear Lake started that process, but due to the educator effectiveness and some of those changes, that was, I think, thrown by the wayside for good reason. So we'll kind of have to start from scratch and look at, how we can be competitive and comparable to surrounding districts. And I think every district around the state is facing the same problems that we are.
So you're looking for approval.
Yep.
All right, I'll make a
Yeah.
motion.
okay. Been moved by Peter. Is there a second?
Second?
It's been properly moved and second to approve the teacher contracts for next year. Any more further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? David, did you?
Yeah, we're good.
You're good?
Yep, sorry.
Okay. Consideration and approval of medical aid, transportation aid.
So we interviewed, and the interview committee selected Billy Joe Johnson. So we're just looking for approval for that hire.
Okay, and the medical aid, transportation aid, is that what is that?
So this
It's-
would be the replacement for Teresa Klein.
Thank you,
If you
okay.
recall her resignation earlier in the winter, so they're moving away, so.
Yep,
And it's a 50% medical aid, 50% transportation aid in the elementary building, starting
Yep.
for the next school year, 2016, 2017 school year. And we're hoping that we'll get to transition her with Teresa a little bit at the end of this year yet.
Can you give a little background on her?
Background, she's originally from Clear Lake, with a very impressive resume, and fits, has some of the background in the medical training that we were looking for.
It's a pretty extensive experience doing office assistance and office management and logistical kind of things. And what we did, we had a set up some tasks and activities for the candidates. We interviewed 9 candidates, had set up some tasks and activities for them to do along with the interview team, and then used all that information to make the best decision we could. We had a lot of good candidates. So.
They got to take that during the actual school day, so they got to hear the hustle and bustle of the elementary building, which helped a little bit too.
Good. Good. Any other concerns? Hearing none, I'm looking for a motion.
I move to approve Billy as a new hire.
We have a proper motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved and second to approve the medical aid, transportation aid. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. All right, Josh, superintendent notes.
Okay, over the last 2 weeks here, we've had, a couple things. It's definitely, you can feel the end of the school year here very close within both buildings. So we had a mission vision workshop that was open to anybody in the community. Had some good results with that. We were able to, kind of discuss, where the district's headed as far as the core values and what our mission is, and we've met multiple times with both buildings, and I feel like we're making very good progress with that, and that'll be hopefully ready to roll out to everyone at the end of this year. So it's in handbooks and part of our student handbooks, and hopefully kind of plastered all over both buildings and in the community as well. So I was very happy with that. Right now we have baseball and softball teams. Both teams right now are tied for second in the conference, which has been fun to watch some baseball and softball games. And my wife was wondering why I had a little bit of color on my face as well when I got home, so I said I was watching softball. Prom was a huge success. As you can tell, Ms. Rubel looks like she's a lot more relaxed this week, and she did a really nice job last week getting everything ready. And for those of you that didn't get to see the presentation that the kids did, was very neat to see. They had a whole Eiffel Tower and Paris theme, and it sounded like the kids had a lot of fun, and everything went extremely well. We had Staff Appreciation Week. Had a couple things in both buildings for the staff, and I just want to extend my appreciation to the staff in both buildings. We just really have a wonderful staff that really allow the district to function at a high level. Forward testing is completed, grades 3rd through 8th grade, so that's done, which is nice. ACT Aspire, the freshmen finished last week. The sophomores are doing it this week. We host a track conference meet on April 17th, so if you don't have anything going on, that's April 17th, and you can come watch the Clear Lake athletes run. And that's all I have for this meeting.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Josh, how many people showed up for the mission and vision?
Total, we had, I don't know what the total number was. It wasn't.
A dozen or so. I wrote it down somewhere. I've got all the.
A dozen?
Maybe
Yeah.
a dozen.
Well, that's good.
All right, thank you. Future agenda items. Anybody have any concerns or anything that we want to make sure we try and get on the future agenda?
Is there an update on our internet, our website update? You were going to update the website.
Yeah, that is, we are working on contracting with CMS for schools. So that is in the mix right now. I talked to Carrie Moon. Is actually, ironically, someone I was working with, and she went to high school with me, and I didn't realize it. So she has a new last name. So we're going through CMS for schools, and that will be rolled out next year.
CMS is an acronym for what?
Yeah, it's one of the CISAs puts it on. I'm not sure exactly what the CISA 6. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the acronym means, but I think 75% of school districts use it for their website, so it's a large. They attract a lot of school district because it's it's a stock website that's easy to use. It speaks to their calendar, and there's a lot of functions within it that are nice for school districts to use. So we're working on putting that together and just identifying which look we want for our school district. So it's moving forward.
Is that enough? Do you want,
Yeah,
okay,
no,
good.
that's-
Okay, perfect.
And then, are we conducting any kind of exit interviews for people who are leaving our school?
I don't know, I don't think we have past practice done that, but I would be completely open to doing that. I think it's good practice to do, yeah.
Yeah, I think we should consider doing exit interviews, especially if we're losing good people here, so we should find out the reason why they're leaving.
Yep. One future agenda item, I have just PT, OT contracts need to be approved. We just got the, from our special ed director, just gave me that information today.
Okay.
And also approval of our summer school dates as
Okay.
well, so that'll be
That'll
on
be
there.
on the next one. Okay, thank you. Anything else? All right, thank you, everybody. Because our next agenda item is closed session, so thank you all for coming. We appreciate it.
That's gonna be my batch. It's scones.
Dave, I do believe I think there's been some
Warm, actually.
informal exit interviews, but I think it'd be good if something,
Go get some napkins too.
Thank you.
I'll have them.
You gotta turn that off.
Good cup of coffee.
Don't you make a motion to go into closed session or no?
Yeah, we can.
No, Dave?
We can certainly do that, yeah. Well, it's on here. All right, so I need a motion to go into closed session.
I'll make a motion that we go into closed session.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, and then we need to pull the board. So Dave?
Yep.
Peter? Yes. Myself, yes?
Yes.
And we are in closed session. And we're back. Good. So I'll entertain a motion to,
I'll make a motion that we expand it to full-time position for Alicia.
Strilzek, PE health position.
PE Health is going to go from .8 position to a 1.0 position. So we have a proper motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to move the PE position from a .8 to a 1.0. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. So we are here now. So now I'm looking for a motion to adjourn. And I can't do it this time.
I'll make a motion. Shall we adjourn?
All right, it's been moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And we are adjourned. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies.